Yeah, finally I can see you, Fez. Okay, how are you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
Doing great. So the March month, which was a year-long month, has finally ended, and we are starting with a new day and a new batch. Okay, great. So we are going to start with the module 1 today. The name of the module is Where Are You From? So here basically we are going to see how to introduce ourselves. Okay, and we are going to see very basic concepts in this particular unit. As this unit is very easy, we are going to do it a bit faster. Okay, I might call it unit or module, is the same thing that we are going to look at. Okay, don't get confused if I use different terms. Now, as I said, in this particular module, we are going to get started with how to introduce ourselves. That's something that we are going to see. Then along with that, we are going to see very basic concepts, okay, which are of grammar basically, जहाँ पर हम sentences कैसे बनाते हैं, sentence structures हमारे कौन से रहते हैं, ओके, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सेंटेंसेस जो हम डेली कॉन्वर्जेशंस में यूज करते हैं, एंड दीज आर काइंड ऑफ टर्म्स दैट आई विल बी रिफरिंग टू again and again in the further modules that we will be looking at. Okay, then we will see what is a basic sentence structure, then what are the different types of questions, how to make those questions. We are going to see everything. You can say this is a very foundation module. Okay, and we are going to see how to use it in our like, जैसे हम आगे आगे जाएंगे basically we'll see what are the concepts that we build on. Okay, clear? You both are able to unmute and speak, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, great. So first thing that we have over here is the conversation that we are going to look at as usual. Now, over here, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to read this conversation loudly. But before we go to the conversation, I want you to look at the picture and tell me, what do you think? Where are they? How old are they? And who are they? When I ask you who are they students or working professionals? What do you think? Okay, now tell me what are the languages that you guys are comfortable with. Most of the times I will be speaking in English, but beach mein I might refer Hindi. Okay, I guess you both are comfortable with Hindi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, great. But most of the times I'll be speaking in English, and I expect answers also in English whenever I ask. Now see, I'm asking you to just speak in English. I'm not saying correct sentences बनाओ या फिर wrong sentence बनाओ. आप wrong बनाओगे वहीं पर मैं करेक्ट करूँगी आपको. जैसे फैज़ ने आज बोला, वेट क्या बोला, वेट मुझे फैज़ को करेक्ट करना है ग्रुप में. Yes, joining 10 a.m. You're not joining 10 a.m. You're joining at 10 a.m. Okay? Yeah. So refer to correct prepositions. We are going to look at them in second unit. Don't worry. कैसे यूज होता है वो हम देखेंगे. Yeah. Okay, great. So tell me, who are they, where are they, and what do you think? How old are they? You have to
They
guess.
are,
I'm not expecting a right answer. You just have to guess.
yes, they are in the market
Okay.
and they look like students.
Okay.
Uh, I guess they are in the canteen of universities, and
Okay.
both of them are actually students. Yeah, they might be discussing about uh, their course related something.
Okay. And how old are they? Any guesses?
Yeah, they are under 25, I guess, if they are students.
Okay. Harish, what do you think?
The same. They like uh, near 20, 25 to 18, 18 to 25.
18 to 25. Okay. Now let's read the conversation and see if your guesses were right or wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I want you, Harish, to be Arturo and Fez to be Alexa and read the conversation loudly.
Uh, Hello, I am Arturo Valdez.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Costa, but please call me Alexa.
Okay, where are you from, Alexa?
Brazil. How about you?
I'm from Mexico.
Oh, I love Mexico. It's really beautiful. Oh, good. Sujin is here. Good. Sujin is here.
Who is Sujin?
She is my classmate where we were in the same business class.
Where's the from?
We
Where's
are. We are in the same business class. Okay.
Yeah, we are in the same business class.
Hmm.
yeah? Where's she from?
South Korea. Let's go and say hello. Sorry, what's your last name again? Vargas?
Actually, it's Valdez.
Oh, well. Uh, oh, how do you spell that?
Valdez.
Very good. Okay. Easy. Now you guys were right, they are students. If you see, they are in a university. So as Fez said, universities usually have cafeterias, right? Like areas where they give food. Usually university campuses are supposed to be very very big, right? Most of the foreign universities have big campuses. In India, of course, we have in Pune, especially, we have small colleges also. But if you go to universities like MIT, ADT, where I used to work, then now I guess there is one more university which has come up. I totally forgot the name. They also have a very big Flames, yeah, Flames University. They also have a very big campus. Symbiosis again has a very big campus. So when you go to these campuses, they have an area where there are just food outlets located, so they are in such a area over here. Okay, now the conversation is pretty easy. Arturo is meeting Alexa for the first time, so he's starting with his introduction. He says, "Hello, I am Arturo Valdez." Okay, then Alexa says, "My name is Alexandra Costa, but please call me Alexa." Now, usually when we have a very big name like Fez, we say that, okay, my name is Fezullah. I guess I pronounced it right.
Alhamdulillah, Bari.
Yeah, but then you say, please call me Faiz, because that's an easier name to pronounce and remember as well. Correct? So it's a nickname that we use. अभी इंडिया में हम इसको बहुत बार पेट नेम बोलते हैं, but usually it's better to say nickname. Okay, NICK, nickname. Yeah. Then he asks, where are you from, Alexa? Then she says, Brazil. How about you? How about you? मतलब क्या? आपके बारे में क्या? Then he says, I'm from Mexico. Then she is just trying to build rapport over here by saying, oh, I love Mexico. It's really beautiful. Then she says, oh, good, Sujin is here. मतलब अच्छा हुआ Sujin भी आ गई. Then वो पूछता है, who is Sujin? So if you now observe over here, in the first part of the conversation, they are talking to each other about each other. करेक्ट, वो एक दूसरे से बात कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे के बारे में. दैट इज द फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्वर्जेशन. बट इफ यू सी द सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्वर्जेशन, as soon as they start talking about Sujin, they are not talking about each other, they are talking about Sujin, right? सो सेकेंड पार्ट में वो एक दूसरे से बात कर रहे हैं, बट वो थर्ड पर्सन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो दैट्स वेयर दिस कॉन्सेप्ट बिकम्स इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर अस, जो कि है फर्स्ट पर्सन, सेकेंड पर्सन एंड थर्ड पर्सन. ठीक है, क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? बिकॉज इसके साथ में हमारे जो सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट के रूल्स होते हैं ना, वो चेंज होते हैं. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट पर्सन क्या होता है? फर्स्ट पर्सन इज द स्पीकर. नाउ आई एम स्पीकिंग, सो आई एम द फर्स्ट पर्सन. Okay, what are the terms that I will refer? I and we. I will say I am speaking, we are learning. Okay, so I will refer to I in singular in first person and we in plural. Okay, then आएगा हमारा second person. Second person is the listener. Now you guys are listening to me, so you are the listener, you are the second person. Okay, so you, ये term मैंने refer किया. Correct? अभी सेम वे थर्ड पर्सन होता है, बट थर्ड पर्सन में हम तीसरे के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Okay, someone who is not involved in the conversation most of the time, but sometimes we can refer to the person who is involved in the conversation also. जैसे कि मैंने few seconds back I spoke about Faiz, right? Now Faiz is there in the conversation, but still I took his name and spoke about him. So he becomes the third person over here. As I said, कभी कभी थर्ड पर्सन कॉन्वर्जेशन में इन्वॉल्व हो सकता है, कभी कभी इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो सकता है, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इन्वॉल्व नहीं होता है. ठीक है. नाउ अगेन इन थर्ड पर्सन वी हैव सिंगुलर एंड प्लूरल. सिंगुलर क्या होता है?
Singular is talking about a like one person or
वन
one.
पर्सन और वन थिंग.
One.
ओके, एक वचन जो हम बोलते हैं. एंड देन वी हैव प्लूरल. प्लूरल मीन्स टॉकिंग अबाउट मेनी थिंग्स. ठीक है. बहुवचन जो हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं. सो in third person I will either refer to third person singular or plural. In singular I will use the terms he, she, it, or I will use the name of that person. So here they are talking about Sujin, so they are referring to Sujin as Sujin, or after they know her name they are referring to her as she. Correct? She is my classmate. Same way अगर मेल होता तो we would have used he. ओके. अगर नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स है, जैसे कि सिटी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, कंट्री के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, या फिर एनिमल्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तो हम इट ये वर्ड यूज करते हैं. एंड देन आता है प्लूरल. प्लूरल में हम यूज करेंगे दे और नेम ऑफ टू और मोर पीपल. ओके. नाउ फॉर अस टू रिमेंबर द ग्रामर रूल्स और द सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट विच विल बी लुकिंग अहेड, हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर. ओके. थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर जो कि है ही, शी, इट और नेम ऑफ वन पर्सन, क्योंकि इसके साथ में हमारे मोस्ट ऑफ द ग्रामर रूल जो सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट के हैं वो चेंज होते हैं. ओके. इन डेली कॉन्वर्सेशंस मेनली, जैसे कि आई विल से आई एम सुस्मिता, बट आई विल से ही इज फैज. यू आर हरीश, ही इज फैज. तो हमारे वर्ब्स यहाँ पर चेंज हो रहा है. सेम वे आई विल से आई ड्रिंक कॉफी, यू ड्रिंक कॉफी, बट ही ड्रिंक्स कॉफी. राइट. तो ये हमारे रूल्स कैसे चेंज होते हैं वो हम आगे देखेंगे. बट थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर ये टर्म इस वजह से इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू विल हैव टू रिमेंबर, बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स आई विल बी रेफरिंग इट टू अगेन एंड अगेन वेन एवर यू विल मेक मिस्टेक्स. क्लियर? Okay, moving to the next part. Here he asks who is Sujin. Then she says that she is my classmate. We are in the same business class. तो पूछता है वो कहाँ से है? Where is she from? Then she says South Korea. Now the second part becomes important over here, where she says let's go and say hello. But sorry, what's your last name again? ना, जब भी हम किसी की इन्फॉर्मेशन भूल जाते हैं, जब भी हम किसी को फर्स्ट टाइम मिलते हैं, हम बहुत बार उनका नेम ग्रास्प नहीं कर सकते, या फिर हमें याद नहीं रहता. दैट्स अ कॉमन थिंग, राइट? हमें नेम याद नहीं रहता. नाउ द इजीएस्ट ट्रिक टू रिमेंबर द नेम इज रिपीट द नेम आफ्टर यू हैव हर्ड इट. व्हेन यू रिपीट इट यू रिमेंबर द नेम फॉर अ लॉन्गर टाइम. ओके. But if still you don't remember, then this is the way you can ask someone, sorry, what's your name again? Sorry, what's your last name again? अभी नेम फर्स्ट नेम रहता है एंड लास्ट नेम रहता है. व्हाट इज फर्स्ट नेम? जो हमारा फर्स्ट नेम रहता है, जैसे मेरा सुस्मिता है, आपका हरीश है, आपका फैज है, राइट? लास्ट नेम क्या रहता है? जिसको हम सरनेम बोलते हैं, दैट्स आवर लास्ट नेम मोस्टली. ओके. देन हिज लास्ट नेम इज वाल्डेज. नाउ it's a little unique name, right? It's not a very common name. So she asks how do you spell that, क्योंकि कभी कभी हमें जब नाम समझ में नहीं आता, it becomes better to understand it with the help of spellings. Correct? तो वो बोलता है VALDEZ. Okay. Now we are going to listen to the same conversation to understand the intonations and the pronunciations in a better way. What do we mean when we say intonations?
It might be taking intonation, like pronouncing as a silent or
Okay.
pushing over the word might be.
Okay. Harish, what do you think intonations are?
Actually, I have no idea.
एनी गेस, क्या लगता है इंटोनेशन ये वर्ड सुनकर क्या होगा?
Mm, no, no.
Intonation is the way our pitch goes up and down while speaking. Okay, now for example, when I am making a sentence, you know where my full stops are, you know where my commas are. When I'm
Oh,
asking a question to you, you understand that okay, it's a question. When I ask you what do you think intonations are, you know I'm asking a question. वहाँ पर मेरा स्टेटमेंट नहीं था. कैसे समझ में आता है? ऑफ कोर्स सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर से तो समझ में आता ही है, बट इंटोनेशन से हमें बेटर समझ में आता है कि दैट्स अ क्वेश्चन. Okay, so that's where our intonations become better. Now of course this is something that I'm going to cover ahead again, but understand this, whenever we talk about English ना, हमें लगता है कि फास्ट बोलना मतलब इंग्लिश होता है या फास्ट बोलना मतलब फ्लुएंसी होता है. एम आई राइट?
yes.
Yes.
दैट इज व्हाट वी थिंक, राइट? राजधानी एक्सप्रेस है या फिर वंदे भारत है मतलब फ्लुएंसी है. दैट पर्सन इज फ्लुएंट इन इंग्लिश वेन एवर वी लिसन टू समवन स्पीकिंग वेरी फास्ट. बट is that the truth? No. Okay, when we talk about fluency, now understand this, fluency is very different from language. That is one more mistake that we usually do, कि हम जब भी language समझते हैं ना, तो मतलब when I'm saying language, I'm mainly saying that grammar structures. I'm saying using correct grammar and incorrect grammar. Okay, correct grammar and incorrect grammar, it's a language aspect. Fluency is the way we talk. ओके, नाउ हमें बहुत बार लगता है कि अगर एक आध इंसान बहुत फास्ट बात कर रहा है ना, अरे वो इंसान कितना फ्लुएंट है इंग्लिश में. बट when he is speaking fast, we don't observe how many grammatical errors he is making. Okay, how many mistakes he is making, how many pronunciation intonation errors that person is making. So that's where we need to understand fluency is not about talking fast. Okay, fluency is about talking in correct intonation with correct stress on words and using pauses for your own strength. Okay, we have to understand this, that whenever we are speaking in English, basically it's very very important to take pauses as well. ओके, वो पॉजेस हम यूजुअली कब लेते हैं? एनी आइडिया?
Uh,
डू यू
af-
गाइस? ओके,
After the completion of sentence.
आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ सेंटेंस. ओके, हरीश, एनी गेसेस?
Like we should take pauses in between the sentence, but usually we do after the completion of sentence in one go.
ओके, हरीश, व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
Yes, after the completion of
ओके, नाउ आई वुड से दैट्स पार्शियली करेक्ट बट नॉट टोटली करेक्ट. ओके, सेंटेंस के बीच में भी हम पॉजेस ले सकते हैं जबकि हमारे कॉमाज आते हैं. whenever we want someone to grasp something, that's where we take a pause. But along with that, I would say it's important to um, take a pause to make sure you know what you're going to say in the next part of your sentence. Okay, जैसे मैंने बोला, हम जब ये बात करते हैं इंग्लिश में हमें लगता है कि फास्ट हमें बात करना है, पॉज हमें नहीं लेना है. इफ़ आई एम स्पीकिंग फास्ट, दैट्स व्हेन आई एम फ्लुएंट. ओके, बट दैट्स नॉट ट्रूथ. It becomes important that you take a pause, you decide what you're going to say in the next part, and then you say that. अभी एग्जाम्पल, जब भी आप क्रिकेट खेलते हो या फिर जब भी आप डार्ट्स खेलते हो, डार्ट्स पता है आपको?
Tandia.
नहीं नहीं, डार्ट्स डार्ट्स बोल रही हूँ मैं, DARTS, जो आप एम करते हो ना, और
Okay.
yes, yes, that
डार्ट्स, हाँ, यूजुअली ऑफिस में भी होते हैं. अदरवाइज यू कैन रिमेंबर विद द एग्जांपल ऑफ क्रिकेट ऑल्सो, कि आप बॉलिंग कर रहे हो समझो, राइट? तो बॉलिंग करते हो तो क्या आप जाके डायरेक्ट बॉल्स डालते रहते हो? नहीं.
Hmm.
You you take the ball, you see where you're standing, correct? You look at the cricketer where he's standing, you look at the other teammates of yours where they are standing, you look at your goal, right? And then you start running and then you throw the ball. So remember this pause example as your running part. तो आप जब रन कर रहे हो तब आप एम करते हो ना कि आपको कहाँ डालना है करके. I might not be 100% correct over here because I have never played cricket. I'm just taking an example which is relatable for you guys.
Yes,
ठीक है?
yes.
I usually used to take the example of shooting, but again, that's not a very good example. Yeah, because of a lot of things that happen. So I'm trying to use a little sober example over here which you can relate with. ठीक है? तो आप जो रनिंग पार्ट जो आपका करते हो ना, तो टेक दैट एग्जाम्पल एज अ पॉज दैट यू टेक वाइल स्पीकिंग. सो व्हेन यू आर रनिंग, दैट्स वेयर यू टेक द एम, दैट्स वेयर यू डिसाइड कि ओके आप कहाँ बॉल डालोगे और आप कैसे एम करोगे. सो सेम वे व्हेन यू टेक दैट पॉज, यू डिसाइड कि ओके आप आगे क्या बोलने वाले हो, आप कौन सा वर्ड यूज़ करोगे, कौन सा सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर यूज़ करोगे और कैसे उसको पुट फॉरवर्ड करोगे. ठीक है. एंड एट द सेम टाइम यू हैव टू नो योर ऑडियंस ऑल्सो, दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू हैव टू नो योर लिसनर ऑल्सो, दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बट दैट्स अनदर पार्ट, विल लुक एट दैट अहेड. Okay. Now, as I said, taking pauses is also very important. But when I say that, you also have to understand that हम जो pause की बात करें, मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि 30 seconds का 1 minute का pause लो. Those pauses are very subtle. 0.5 second या फिर 1 second का pause maximum होता है हमारा. Okay, so that process of thinking needs to be a bit faster. कैसे वो हम देखेंगे, don't worry. Now, as I said, along with that, when we are taking those pauses, what else it becomes important is whenever you are speaking, you have to understand कि अगर आप ऐसा कोई part बोल रहे हो, which this is especially important in meetings, when you are talking with your teammates, when you are explaining a process to someone, the way I am teaching you guys right now, right? तो वहाँ पर आप थोड़ा सा लंबा pause लेते हो. क्यों? Because you want the other person to understand what you are trying to say and grasp. वो सुने और समझे. ओके, सो वहां पर आपके पॉजेज ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाते हैं. क्लियर?
Yeah.
नाउ along with that, the word stress also becomes important. सेंटेंस स्ट्रेस एंड वर्ड स्ट्रेस. अभी जब भी हम सेंटेंस बनाते हैं, हम सेंटेंस में हमारे सारे वर्ड्स जो होते हैं ना, वो हम प्रोनाउंस एकदम स्ट्रेस दे के नहीं करते हैं. Okay, that is in all the languages that we speak, but it becomes more important in English. For example, when I say she's my classmate, she's my classmate, अभी इसमें ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस कौन से वर्ड्स पे है? she and classmate. is my हमने बहुत फास्ट प्रोनाउंस कर लिया, बहुत शॉर्ट प्रोनाउंस कर लिया, राइट? सेम वे वी आर इन द सेम क्लास. वी पे ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस है, सेम क्लास पे ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस है. जब मैं बोल रही हूँ ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस मतलब क्या, कि हम उसको लॉन्गर टाइम प्रोनाउंस कर रहे हैं और उसको हम स्ट्रेस भी कर रहे हैं. वी आर इन द सेम क्लास. वेयर इज शी फ्रॉम, राइट? अभी इस पे ज़्यादा हमारा स्ट्रेस नहीं है. सो ऐसे समझ लो अभी के लिए इसको हम कंटेंट वर्ड्स एंड फंक्शन वर्ड्स बोलते हैं. कंटेंट वर्ड्स कौन से रहते हैं? जो हमें सेंटेंस में ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन देते हैं, मेन इन्फॉर्मेशन देते हैं. सो कंटेंट वर्ड्स पे हम हमेशा ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस करते हैं. ओके, एंड जो हमारे फंक्शन वर्ड्स रहते हैं उन पे हम कम स्ट्रेस करते हैं, उनको हम कम टाइम के लिए प्रोनाउंस करते हैं. फंक्शन वर्ड्स कौन से हो जाते हैं हमारे? आर्टिकल्स, helping verbs, prepositions. They don't have a meaning as such. We use them to just make our sentences grammatically correct. Clear? So हमारे content words पे ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस रहता है, फंक्शन वर्ड्स पे कम स्ट्रेस रहता है. अभी इस कॉन्सेप्ट को हम थोड़ा सा आगे वापस देखेंगे जब हम डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्रोनाउंसिएशंस, सेंटेंस स्ट्रेस, वर्ड स्ट्रेस थोड़ा सा इन डेप्थ जब देखेंगे, हम वापस इन कॉन्सेप्ट्स को देखेंगे. बट दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई जस्ट वांटेड यू टू नो फ्रॉम डे वन, सो दैट यू आर एबल टू whenever we are reading these conversations, you are able to read them in a better way. ठीक है? Yeah. Now let us quickly listen to the same conversation, and when you're listening to the conversation, I want you to focus on the intonation, the way they are speaking basically, and along with that I want you to focus on the pauses along with the stress on the words in the sentence. Yeah, जैसे मैंने बोला function words and content words. I'll play the conversation, pay attention.
Unit 1. Where are you from? Page 2. Exercise
I hope it is audible. Okay.
1.
Yes, yes.
Conversation. Please call me Alexa. Listen and practice.
Hello, I'm Arturo Valdez.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Costa, but please call me Alexa.
Okay. Where are you from, Alexa?
Brazil. How about you?
I'm from Mexico.
Oh, I love Mexico. It's really beautiful. Oh, good. Sujin is here.
Who's Sujin?
She's my classmate. We're in the same business class.
Where's she from?
South Korea. Let's go and say hello. Sorry, what's your last name again? Vargas?
Actually, it's Valdez.
How do you spell that?
Valdez.
Okay. Now, if you paid attention, you might observe that he said D-E-Z. Why Z and not Z? क्योंकि हमने जब रीड किया स्टार्टिंग में तब तो हमने Z बोला. Then why is he saying Z? First thing, is it correct or incorrect?
It's correct, and it is coming after this vowel.
Okay. Harish, what do you think?
Because we are pronouncing single, that's why.
बट हमने जब स्कूल में पढ़ा था तब हमने सिंगल में ही Z पढ़ा था, राइट? तो okay, nice guesses, right, guys? But the correct reason would be, if you guys know that there are types of English as well. If you guys know, when you get in the language aspect, that's where you learn it. But just to give you guys a quick, I would say, fact over here, if you guys know, there are types of English as well. हमें लगता है कि English एक ही language है. जैसे हमें लगता है कि हमारे जो मदर टंग्स होते थे, मराठी मराठी एक ही लैंग्वेज है, ऐसे हमें लगता है. बट मराठी में भी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मराठी रहते हैं, राइट? हरीश, आर यू महाराष्ट्र?
Yeah, actually, I'm not Maharashtrian, but I know very well Marathi.
You know Marathi? Okay. So where are you from, Harish?
I'm from Rajasthan.
Rajasthan. Okay. नाइस नाइस. सो इफ यू नो मराठी, या यू माइट नो अगेन. एंड जैसे हिंदी भी हम सुनते हैं तो हिंदी में भी टाइप्स रहते हैं हमारे, राइट? तो वैसे ही हमारे इंग्लिश में भी टाइप्स रहते हैं. ओके. बट इंग्लिश के जो हमारे टाइप्स है उस वजह से ज़्यादा चेंजेस नहीं होते हैं, बट टोटली वर्ड्स भी चेंज होते हैं फ्रॉम दीज वन टाइप टू अनदर टाइप्स एज वी सी. जैसे कि फर्स्ट मेन टाइप जो हमारे होते हैं विच आर प्रोमिनेंट, दैट्स आर अमेरिकन इंग्लिश एंड ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश. ओके, जिसको हम यूएस इंग्लिश एंड यूके इंग्लिश भी बोलते हैं इन शॉर्ट. तो व्हेन वी रिफर टू यूके इंग्लिश, जो कि हम इंडिया में भी सीखे हैं, हमारा आ जाता है जेड. ओके. बट व्हेन वी रिफर टू अमेरिकन इंग्लिश तो वो हो जाता है जी. ठीक है. तो दैट्स द रीजन ही इज सेइंग जी ओवर हियर. अभी बहुत बार ऐसे स्पेलिंग्स भी चेंज होते हैं व्हेन वी रिफर टू ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश एंड अमेरिकन इंग्लिश. ठीक है. जैसे कि आपने पढ़ा होगा COLOUR, ये हमने स्कूल में पढ़ा था, राइट? बट अभी हम देखते हैं कि मैनी पीपल रिफर टू द वर्ड कलर एज COLOR एज वेल. So that's again the difference between American English and British English. British English में हम OUR यूज़ करते हैं and American English में OR यूज़ होता है. ठीक है. अभी बहुत बार वर्ड्स भी टोटली चेंज होते हैं, जैसे मैंने बोला. ठीक है. जैसे हम बोलते हैं लिफ्ट एंड कई बार हम बोलते हैं एलिवेटर. That's the basic difference. Elevator is US English, lift is British English. Footpath, sidewalk. Movie, film. ये सारे हमारे यूएस इंग्लिश यूके इंग्लिश की वजह से टू डिफरेंट वर्ड्स है. ठीक है. सो दैट्स द बेसिक डिफरेंस दैट वी नीड टू नो. एंड देन आता है हमारा इंडियन इंग्लिश, जो कि है वेरी फनी इंग्लिश. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, last time in my exam I had this very interesting poem which is by Nissim Ezekiel, which I loved a lot. And मैं वो जब Indian English वाला aspect पढ़ाऊंगी, I'm going to use that poem. That's what I have decided. So जहाँ पर हम present continuous tense बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करते हैं, जहाँ पर हम repetition of word बहुत यूज़ करते हैं, जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं ना, where are you going morning morning today, राइट. फिर हम इनकरेक्ट वर्ड ऑर्डर यूज़ करते हैं, जो हम आगे देखेंगे ये सारी चीज़ें. ठीक है. तो इसको हम इंडियन इंग्लिश बोलते हैं, विच इज़ अ लिटिल फनी अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, बट या that's another aspect. And then of course Australian English भी रहता है, न्यूजीलैंड का इंग्लिश भी रहता है, but as I said, US English and UK English are the most prominent ones. And as we are from India, Indian English becomes important for us again. Okay. ओनली ये वर्ड हम बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करते हैं. दैट्स अनदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इंडियन इंग्लिश. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई आस्क यू आर यू देयर इन द क्लास, देन यू माइट जस्ट से आई एम हियर ओनली. राइट. हमने बहुत बार सुना होगा ये बोलने के लिए कि मैं इधर ही हूँ. करेक्ट. बट दैट वर्ड ओनली इज नॉट नीडेड ओवर देयर. वाई? बिकॉज द वर्ड ओनली का मीनिंग क्या होता है? सिर्फ ये बोलने के लिए. करेक्ट. आई ओनली हैव वन पेन. ओके. तो ये ओनली हम यूज करते हैं बोलने के लिए कि मेरे पास सिर्फ एक पेन है. तो हम ओनली जब दूसरे तरीके से यूज कर रहे हैं, तो वहां पर हम ये नहीं बोल रहे मैं इधर ही हूँ सिर्फ, ऐसे थोड़ी हम बोल रहे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई दैट वर्ड ओनली बिकम्स इनकरेक्ट एंड इट्स वेरी इंडियन इंग्लिश. ओके. वो ओनली की वहां पर जरूरत नहीं है. सो इफ यू गाइज यूज ओनली, बी केयरफुल नेक्स्ट टाइम, आई वुड से. Clear? Okay, moving to the next part that we have over here. Here, I want you guys to read the sentences which are given on the screen. Okay? Now, then after that, what you will do is you will use the same kind of sentences and you are going to ask each other questions where you are going to ask the other person to basically introduce themselves. Example, I might say, "Hi, I am Susmita. What is your name?" So, same way you guys have to ask each other. Clear? So, read the sentences in part 1 and then you're going to ask each other questions.
Shall I start?
Sure.
Fair work. Introduce yourself with your full name. Use the expressions in the box. Talk to the classmate sitting next to you and 2, 3 more classmates.
Yeah, that's fine. Just read the examples which are given over here. Yeah. So you will introduce yourself first, like, "Hi, I'm Akemi Simoji." So you will say, "Hi, I'm Harish," and then you will ask the other person the name. So now you are only two of you over here today. So you can ask each other directly.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Akemi Shimu.
Tell your name. Tell your name. Yeah.
Hi, I am Harish. What is your name?
You have to tell your name.
Yeah, ma'am, I will tell, but to which part we are referring?
We are referring to part A, but it's just for example on the screen. I want you to tell your name. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So it's just the hint side how we should talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Harish. I'm Faz.
Now, Fez, you can ask his last name.
Okay. Sorry, Harish, what's your last name?
My name is Dangi. My last name is Dangi.
Okay. How do you spell that?
It's Gangi.
Okay, now Harish, you can ask his last name.
Uh, I'm sorry, what's your last name again?
My last name is Bukhari.
Okay, how do you spell that?
The spell is, Bokhari.
The spelling is okay.
Spelling is.
Okay. Now I am going to ask you guys some question. Then you guys are going to give me a full introduction as well. Where are you from, Faiz?
I'm from UP, ma'am.
Okay. And where do you live currently?
Here nearby Magarpatta.
Near Magarpatta. Near Magarpatta. Okay. And what about you, Harish? Where are you from?
From Rajasthan, but
Okay. You'll say that in full sentence. I'm from Rajasthan.
Oh, man, I thought you were just asking.
No, that's fine. Okay. And where do you live currently, Harish?
right now I'm living in Luba. So,
Lohegao. Okay. In Pune. Okay. Now I want you guys to give me your full introduction. First, Harish, you can start. Brief. When I say full, मतलब brief. तुम क्या करते हो, कहाँ रहते हो, and why do you want to learn English? The very important question. Yep.
my name is Harish Dangi, and I'm from Rajasthan. Currently, I'm living in Lohigaon, and I want to learn English to to gain more, actually,
Mm-hmm.
to
It could be anything. Just say it.
uh,
कोई भी आंसर रॉन्ग या राइट नहीं है यहाँ पर. We are
yes,
all here to learn.
to to improve my communication skills and to uh, present effectively in company meetings.
Okay. Very good. And what do you do, Harish? You did not include that part.
Yes, I'm right now I'm working in a UPS Logistics Private Limited as a brokerage admin assistant.
In UBS.
UPS, United
UPS.
Parcel Services.
Okay. That's nice. And
Okay.
where is your office located?
My office is located in Kharadi, Gera Commerce Zone.
Okay. Nice, nice.
What is your company name, Harish?
It's UPS, United Parcel Services.
Okay. And you work as?
I work as brokerage admin assistant.
Okay. Okay.
So it's mainly in finance?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Fez, your turn.
Yeah. So, hi, Shishmita. Hi, Harish.
Hi.
My name is Fazlullah Bukhari, but you guys no need to remember that big one. You guys can call me Faz, and I'm from UP, and I work as a software developer, and my office too in Gira complex.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and my company name is All State. And here in Pune, I live nearby Magarpatta. If I will talk about the exact location, then it is BT Kodia Road.
BT
And
Kaure Road. Huh, BT Kaure Road, yeah.
yes, and I want to learn English. It is, somehow I'm feeling that English is a kind of like wall for me to, you know, like it will help me to progress better than whatever I'm progressing right now in my career. So that is the main like reason to learn English, and also like I believe that if you are somewhere and you are working there, so you should be uh, like it's not just being eligible; it's being uh, you can say uh, one word is there, ma'am. Uh, no, हिंदी भी भूल
हाँ, हिंदी में
गया.
बोल लो, मैं बता दूंगी. No
No, no,
problem.
I just, I was thinking about the word and that
That's fine.
I thought to remember in English, sorry, Hindi or Urdu. Now I forgot that word in that. So it is not just about you are eligible in your current job. It must be you, you know how to handle it, and it is not just the part of work. It must be the part of like talking, expressing, or consuming the requirements. So that is.
Meeting the requirements, yeah. And of course there is something being extra mile also. There is something called extra mile also, that doing always extra helps. Like जो आप रोल में हो उससे अगर आप ज़्यादा करती हो, यू ग्रो फास्टर, बट ऑफ कोर्स it is not applicable for all the job roles. It is not applicable for all the companies. That's another thing. That's something that I believe in again, that it's always good to be doing extra, even if you don't get recognition. If you work extra, correct people will recognize you and you will reach a higher goal, because that's how I grew. That's how I became a trainer. When I didn't even imagine, like 6 7 years back, if you guys would have asked me what you want to be, I would have been like, बस अच्छी सैलरी दे दो उतना काफ़ी है और जॉब दे दो. Yeah, so I was that kind of a person, but because I always did extra, people around me looked at that and like helped me grow. So that was another part. So that's what I believe in. But of course, as I said, it's not applicable everywhere. Not all the people recognize you. Sometimes doing extra means you end up doing all the work. That's another thing, or a con of it, I could say. Okay, so to give you a brief introduction of myself, as you know, I am Susmita. I am going to be your trainer for this whole course. I have overall 9+ years of experience, 7 years of experience in just training. I started training in 2020, and I first started helping friends around me during COVID. Many friends around me started facing issue because they had of course lost their job because of COVID. Even I had lost my job because of COVID at that time, and but because of my communication skills, I got the job easily and immediately. But a lot of friends who were around me were still struggling. They were still facing a lot of issue. That's when they reached out to me for help. With their interview preparation and their English language skills, I started helping them. I saw their growth. They got their jobs which they were applying for, and that's when I understood that okay, there are many people around me, or who might not know me also, who need help to grow in their career, and they just face issue because of their communication skills. They are very good with their domain, what they are doing with, just like you guys, but English जब आ जाता है तब they hesitate, and because of that they lack in their career also. So that's when I thought that I'll start doing it commercially, and I started taking classes on one-on-one basis. At that time I started doing it part time, but I started enjoying it. So that's when I decided in 2022 to leave my job in MIT ADT University and start the institute full time. We were located in Hadapsar, but as I told last time to Fez, we recently shifted to Kharadi because of course the inflation. Yeah, so that's another part, and of course the traffic jam in Mundwa is very very difficult to manage, and it was not difficult for manage only for me. It was difficult for students also who were coming over there, because we were located at a prime junction over there. So we decided to shift to Kharadi, and now we are in Kharadi, but most of the batches are being run online, because students prefer because many students are working from home, they prefer joining online sessions and sit at the comfort of their home and attend the sessions. And another plus point is हमारा ऑफलाइन सेशन ऑनलाइन सेशन सेम रहता है. हम उतनी ही बातें करते हैं ऑनलाइन में भी जितने ऑफलाइन में बातें करते हैं. उल्टा ऑफलाइन में हम कम बातें करते हैं बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स आर इन अ रश टू रीच होम, बट ऑनलाइन में एज एवरी वन इज रिलैक्स्ड, we kind of talk more in these sessions. That's another part of it. Yeah, if I talk about my experience, I started my career with a lot of sales and consumer centric fields. But during COVID, I joined the education industry. I was working in a German language institute, then I worked in MIT ADT University for 3.5 years. I was working there as an innovation consultant. But as I told you, because of my extra mile, because of extra things that I used to do, I started training over there. because I had started training on my own, so I developed a passion for it. So my peers came to know about it and they asked me to start training over there as well. And of course, because of my conversation skills, also, I was training in MIT ADT University for soft skills, English, for marketing, event management, for most of the subjects, I would say, which I am fluent or good with or experienced with, I would say. Then, as I told you, I left that in 2022. I started taking full time training, but over there also, I got at that time also, I got an opportunity to work in HPE, which is again located in Kharari. If you guys know Hewlett Packard Enterprise, I worked over there as a corporate trainer for a year. It was kind of a freelance project that I did. Uh, it was supposed to be 1 year, but it got extended to 1 year, 3 months. So I worked over there. Then I also do freelance projects even now for companies where I do corporate trainings for them. I take up like batches for employees who are working over there, depending on the needs of the company. Then I also freelance as a recruiter where I help global companies to hire candidates for them based on global aspect, global language aspects that they are looking for. Of course, थोड़े से ज़्यादा heavy terms है I know, but I'll break down when we look at the other parts of English, don't worry. ठीक है. Then I also work with lot of small institutes in helping them develop their curriculum, develop the study material, help them in training if needed. So that's something that I do on freelance basis, but of course mainly I focus on my institute, which is the Susmita's classes. And along with English, I also train for IELTS, TOEFL and GRE. GRE is not my main domain, but I try to cover English aspect of it. But IELTS and TOEFL, all the English proficiency tests, I excel with them as well. If I talk about my education background, yes, I have done my BA in psychology. Then I have done my MBA in ITSM, that is Internet and Security Management, basically IT and Security Management. And then I have also done my MA in English Literature because I'm planning to go for PhD soon. I have also done my Masters in TESOL, that is Masters in Teaching English to the Speakers of Other Language. I have done that from a UK based institute. And I also am a global speaking examiner, I can say. So if you guys might know about इंग्लिश प्रोफिशेंसी टेस्ट जो कि यूजुअली हम जब फॉरेन कंट्रीज जाते हैं तब वी नीड टू गिव एनी और वन ऑफ द इंग्लिश प्रोफिशेंसी टेस्ट लाइक IELTS TOEFL, वैसे ही कैम्ब्रिज यूनिवर्सिटी के बहुत सारे अदर इंग्लिश एग्जाम्स है. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट दिस इंग्लिश प्रोफिशेंसी टेस्ट, लिसनिंग रीडिंग राइटिंग तो हमारा पेपर पे हो जाता है, right? But when the speaking aspect comes into picture, they need a live examiner in front of them, right? That's where my part comes in. I also do a role as a live examiner over there, not for all the exams but some of the exams as get pet. जैसे मैंने बोला इंग्लिश के बहुत एग्जाम्स होते हैं. IELTS यानी ये टोफिल जो है वो थोड़े से फेमस है, इस वजह से हमें पता है. बट आप अगर जाकर देखोगे इंग्लिश के इतने सारे टेस्ट है ना, हम कभी कभी मतलब कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. सो that's a bit about me. Yes, I'm from Pune itself. Now my hometown is, after marriage my hometown is Jalgaon, but I am from Pune. Yeah. So that's a bit about me. If you guys have any questions, of course you can ask me. I hope you guys have connected with me on Instagram and LinkedIn. If not, please do connect with me. That is another aspect that we are going to cover कि अपना LinkedIn प्रोफाइल कैसे बिल्ड करना है. ठीक है, मेरा भी इतना बिल्ट नहीं है बट आई ट्राई टू बी एक्टिव. But another thing about LinkedIn is there is a very thin line between being active and showing off. So मैं शो ऑफ नहीं कर पाती हूँ. इसके लिए मेरा LinkedIn इतना एक्टिव नहीं है, बट आई ट्राई. ठीक है. So if you guys are not connected with me on LinkedIn yet, please do connect. You might find me with the name Susmita Suresh Yadav because I have still not changed my name on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit about me. Any questions, guys?
No, no, for now.
Okay, so now one important aspect over here which I wanted to cover again is that's how you're supposed to give your introduction. Now I know मेरा introduction बहुत बड़ा है because of course I come with a lot of experience, but you can modify that according to your experience. Okay, how many of years of experience do you have, Harish?
4.5 years of experience here.
So that's a very like it's a lot of experience, yeah.
Yeah.
Fez, what about you? You are on mute.
4 years, man.
4 years. So you guys have a lot of experience. So you can also put your introduction the way I have put down. Now, of course, I modified it because I wanted to tell you about how I started training, how I started the institute, and what was my journey. But you will modify it according to your need. Okay. Now, of course, we all know that introduction becomes important when you are giving a job interview. ठीक है जॉब इंटरव्यू में that is the first thing that the interview starts with. When I also take the interviews, I start with the introduction. But understand this, the interviewer doesn't want to know what is there in your CV or resume. उसके पास वो ऑलरेडी है. आप सेम थिंग अगर इंट्रोडक्शन में बता रहे हो, he knows that already, he or she. Correct. Now how you can stand out, how you can make it different is, first thing, make it better. Of course, that's the first thing and primary thing. But how to make it better? First thing that you can do is you can modify it according to the job role that you're applying for, according to the company that you are applying for. Okay. But second thing that you can do, which is very very interesting and which is very very important, is convert it into storytelling method. The way I gave you my introduction, it was more like a story. Right. Now when I say convert it into storytelling method, storytelling is not something that everyone excels with. Right. That's where we need to understand how to do it. Now how to do it हम थोड़ा सा next session में cover करेंगे उसको कि how to make your introduction better. But this is something that I want you to try first before I teach you. So that's your home assignment for today. You're going to try to make an introduction basically of yourself, but try to convert it into a storytelling method. अपने इससे ट्राई करना है, चैट जीपीटी नहीं यूज करनी है.
Okay.
ठीक है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये मुझे हर असाइनमेंट के साथ में हाईलाइट करके बोलना पड़ता है कि चैट जीपीटी या फिर कोई भी एआई यूज नहीं करना है. आई वांट यू टू यूज योर ओन स्किल्स. नाउ आई एम नॉट सेइंग whatever you're going to come up with is going to be your best version. No, it's the first version. So it's fine if it's not your best version. But I want you to try. Okay?
Okay.
Now कैसे उसको स्टोरी टेलिंग मेथड में करना है वो आप आपकी थोड़ी सी क्रिएटिविटी यूज करो. You try to find out a turning point in your life, say example, and try to revolve around that and speak about it. जैसे मैंने अभी ऑफ कोर्स अपने क्लास के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है उसलिए भी मैंने इंग्लिश मैंने कैसे टीच करना स्टार्ट किया, क्यों किया. आई टुक दैट एज अ मेन सेंटर एंड आई रिवॉल्व्ड एवरीथिंग अराउंड इट. Right. So same way abhi just for our class you can take any one aspect of your life and keep it as the center and you can revolve around that and try to give your introduction. But जब हम जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करेंगे तब थोड़ा सा हम उसको मॉडिफाई करेंगे. ओके. अभी सेम वे अगर आप कोई नया एम्प्लॉय आया है आपकी कंपनी में, नया टीममेट आया है, उसको अगर इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहे हो तो वो अलग वे में हो जाएगा. You will revolve it around your current job role then. Right. तो that's another thing that we need to understand कि हमारा इंट्रोडक्शन हर बार सेम नहीं रहता है. ऑफ कोर्स हमारी डिटेल्स एंड फैक्ट्स जो है वो तो सेम ही रहेंगे. आप राजस्थान से हो तो आप राजस्थान से ही रहोगे, मैं पुणे से हूँ तो मैं पुणे से ही रहूँगी. राइट. वो तो चेंज नहीं होगा. बट उसको हम फन वे में कैसे इलेबरेट करें. एंड जब आप फन वे में एक्सप्लेन भी कर रहे हो ना, सामने वाले को डिटेल्स याद रहते हैं. अगर सॉरी, अगर मैं आपको एक महीने बाद भी पूछूँ ना व्हाट वाज द कंपनी और व्हाट वाज द इंस्टीट्यूट दैट आई वाज वर्किंग इन, यू विल स्टिल रिमेंबर MIT-ATT. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई हैव टोल्ड यू दैट इन दैट वे. राइट. तो उस वजह से डिटेल्स भी ज़्यादा इजीली याद रहते हैं सामने वाले को अपने बारे में. क्लियर? So this is your home assignment for today. You're going to try to make your introduction in a storytelling method, and you are going to present that to me tomorrow.
Sure.
Yes.
Clear? Any doubts with this part? Just give me 1 minute. Okay, clear? Do you guys like this activity?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. हाँ, if you guys
Yes.
want, you can refer to YouTube videos. वो आप रिसर्च कर सकते हो, ठीक है, कि YouTube वीडियो सर्च करो, देखो कैसे करना है इंट्रोडक्शन, टेक नोट्स एंड देन प्रिपेयर योर इंट्रोडक्शन. दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन डू द रिसर्च, बट डोंट टेक द help of AI, because we don't want to make things easy. We want to keep it interesting. Another thing is we want to stimulate our brain. Okay? Why? Because when I say storytelling method is not only important for our introduction. Understand that again. Okay? Storytelling becomes important when you are talking to people as well. When you're trying to narrate a situation. बहुत बार होता है ना कि हमारे ग्रुप में एक फ्रेंड रहता है, राइट, जो एक सिचुएशन एक्सप्लेन करने की ट्राई कर रहा है, बट वो सब कुछ एक्सप्लेन कर देता है, बट मेन पॉइंट क्या रहता है वही नहीं एक्सप्लेन करता, राइट. हम बोलते हैं फिर हुआ क्या, क्या बताना चाहता था तू, राइट. ये क्वेश्चन हम बहुत बार पूछते हैं. सो दैट्स वेयर स्टोरी टेलिंग helps or matters, I would say. We should know what is the main thing that we have to put forward and how to put it forward, because this becomes important in meetings, in presentations, in motivating your team when you become a team leader or a manager, when you are trying to, you know, get things done from your team, it becomes important again. Okay, you have to draw from your own experiences as well as others experiences, but you don't have to put it forward as a lecture or a motivation, but in a storytelling method, जो मैं भी अपने क्लास में बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करती हूँ, where I draw from my experiences or people's experiences, and I try to give you kind of a moral or a lesson, I would say, but वो जैसे अपने पेरेंट्स देते ना वैसा लेक्चर नहीं लगता है. या ठीक है. So that also becomes important. Clear? So that's the reason I'm asking you guys to do this home assignment. Yeah. Okay, चलो, we'll stop over here for today. आज हमने बहुत ही छोटा टॉपिक कवर किया, I know that, but we will try to go a bit fast tomorrow. Tomorrow's class is going to be a little grammar, but yeah, we'll try to go through it. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Any questions? Any doubts? No? Okay then. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come with the same energy, guys. मुझे लगा था सुबह के बैच है तो सब नींद में रहेंगे. As you guys are working. Harish is working in night, like late shift. I wouldn't call it a night shift, but a late shift. Faiz, what are your work timings you told me? 1:30 say?
1:30 till 11 p.m.
Okay. 11 p.m. So you're also working in late shift basically.
Late.
Hmm. So I thought मुझे लगा तुम दोनों नींद में रहोगे, but you guys were fresh. So yes, that's a positive thing. Okay, chalo, I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Bye bye, have a great day ahead.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Thank you.
No problem.